Hello and welcome to Spring Commander Forge Alliance. This is Setons, and for this video I'd just like to look at the back build. Here we have two extremely good players, grimjoe and Foxy Grandpa, so they definitely know what they're doing. And we'll just see which build is better. We can see Grim coming out with air. I'll definitely not look through the whole game, this will be way too long. We'll check who gets more mass from middle. It should be very even in this one. And how they first capture the mass extractors, how many T2P gens they build, all those things that are so important, as well as how quickly you get the hydro, where you place the factories, how quickly you get the trees. Now we can see Foxy here going 2 P gens, then a couple of mass extractors. You see first engineer picking up the 3 mass extractors. Very different. You can see Grim with the first engineer going after the hydro, so right away we see a difference. And I'll play this at 0 just so people really pay attention to what's happening. So 2 P gens, 3 mass extractors, then a whole bunch more P gens. Also note first air here for Grim, and with Aeon the air factory makes engineers slightly faster, so first engineers once again to the hydro. So a lot more mass early on for Foxy. You can see the second engineer is going over to these 3 mass extractors. Looks like a third engineer for Grim also going after the hydro. And now Foxy, after getting all these mass extractors, is going with a couple more P gens. Looks like he's going to go a total of 6 before he builds any more factories, and those are going to be air factories. And now the fourth engineer finally is going to go get some mass. And now these engineers should be split. You can see these 3 among the other mass extractors, and these 2 going up, and the 5th going over to the last mass extractor and then pick up the rock. You can see the hydro is much later for Foxy. Looks like the 5th engineer going to the hydro. The first 4 were spread very evenly. And absolutely no plans here for Grim. Looks like the ACU was guarding the factory to get more engineers out quicker and allow less P gens. A total of 3 P gens here with a hydro, while we see Foxy now 6 P gens. No hydro yet. So if you think about it, Grim has a lot more power for much less mass, but Grim of course has a lot more mass extractors now and the engineers much further out into the field. And the second factory, second and third, is after getting 6 P gens, Foxy's going for the third factory and nearly got the hydro. So looking at the eco for Foxy, you can see he's got some power problems because he's trying to force out the factory. Grim has no power problems but mass problems. So both players trading off different aspects of the game. Now coming up on minute 4, we should see mass flowing in for these players. We see now 6 P gen for Grim, a couple more factories. And now it looks like Foxy is working on his last expanding mass extractor, and you see Grim is slightly behind there. So total engineers here at 330. Grim has a total of 12. Foxy's should have a lot more. He's actually only got 13, so extremely even so far. A little more mass for Foxy, a little more power for Grim. You can see here all these air factories are around a single mass extractor. Now we see some upgrades for Grim. He's got a total of 3. Well, actually he's already got a T2 mass extractor. I completely missed that. They really rushed that one hard. Foxy also upgrading, but he doesn't have a T2 mass extractor yet. I can see the expanding factories here for Foxy in 2 positions. Foxy is about to have yet another, so 2 T2 mass extractors. And you see the factory attack move here, picking up all the trees. And also you see an expanding factory here. He's going to get some more trees engineers out into the field. Should see another one around here as well. And a single T2 mass extractor. Actually 2 T2 mass extractors now, working on the 3rd and 4th for Foxy. See a total of 4 for Grim. So Grim is definitely ahead in terms of mass. And now he's going to use engineer C3 on this mass extractor. This is the 5th and the 6th. And here at minute 5 we can see DS picked up 7100, suspect 7600. So very even in terms of how much everybody on their teams got from the middle. And of course there is a bit of a bonus here having all these factories attached to that mass extractor. And one interesting thing, we'll check Foxy, how much he's got from trees in terms of reclamation, 2200 already, versus Grim, he's only got 1600. So those engineers reclaimed a little more for Foxy. But now we're seeing these engineers working on the 7th and the 6th T2 mass extractors. For Grim, he is slightly ahead. A total of 3 factories here at the starting position, total of 4, and going for the 5th. Foxy going to the 4th. And you can see how Foxy has reclaimed all these trees. He's got a couple more T2 mass extractors here as well. Interesting thing will be how these players transition to T2. Here it says 620. You can see Foxy has started taking his air factory to Tech 2. Very similar, Grim nearly identical, except that a lot more build capacity here for Foxy Grandpa. And comparing Foxy Grandpa making plus, well, it's hard to tell because of all the reclamation. A total of 5 mass extractors, while Grim is at quite a few. He's got 7. So Grim ahead on mass. But perhaps Foxy can catch up. And here we see at minute 7, we should see a T2 engineer come out. A little bit of ahead of Grim. So the tech is a little faster for Foxy. Grim a lot more eco. They're actually already making mass extractors here. Still not finished with every single T2 mass extractor, but already going to mass storage, and that's the principle of if you have a lot of build capacity, you might as well use it. More build capacity now for grimjoe on his air factory. And a little more T1 power. It looks like Grim having some power problems. Doesn't look like he is, but perhaps expecting to. Definitely has a lot of mass. Somewhere an average of about plus 90. Foxy actually quite a bit, and quite a bit in storage for Foxy. See Foxy nearly done with all of his mass extractors. Going to T2 here at minute 8. And Grim should be very close to that as well. He might actually be finished. Still has 3. So in terms of T2 mass extractors, very even now between these two players, except that Grim has already started making some mass storage. Actually has quite a bit of mass storage all over the place. And now we are seeing this T2 power generator has been started for Grim. And actually Foxy looks like he's making one as well. He's already finished one. So in terms of power, Foxy definitely ahead. In terms of mass, still grimjoe slightly ahead. Nothing being produced by this T2 air factory. Sometimes players like to use it to make air, and actually looks like Grim making T2 gunships here. It's not clear why he's doing that. Doesn't look like there's any major problems for his team, but he did make a couple gunship, and it looks like he's looking to take back the island here for Carlitos. So that is going to cost, because those units do cost mass and power. Like the Swift one is 200 mass. See this here minute 9, going for the 3rd T2 power. Foxy working on actually interesting thing to see from Grim. He's already working on his resource allocation before he's even finished. So any excess power that he might have, he is going to use. Of course, at this point, most likely he doesn't have. Well, he could unpause right now and pause once again. That's exactly what he's doing. So you will finish that. And this is taking minus 1500, which is basically exactly 3 T2 power generators. This is Now 9:40. Grim is well on his way for his resource allocation. Foxy nearly done with his third, so actually Grim has caught up in terms of power. And Foxy going with 4 2-2P gens before he's going to the resource allocation. Grim is just going with 2 or 3, and he is now going to make some swift ones as well, while Foxy's are already nearly halfway done with his T3 factory. In terms of mass storage around his mass extractors, you can see just past 10, nearly done with all of this, so a really big eco for Foxy, and similar for Grim. So if you're trying to out eco somebody, it's a good marking at minute 10, all of mass extractors at T2, and you're working on your resource allocation, and Grim definitely ahead in that category, working on a little bit of swift ones as well. And Foxy also working, but one difference, already a T3 factory, making a T3 engineer. So there's a possibility of a T3 power generator for Foxy, and of course now there isn't a possibility for making ASF fighters, while Grim is only still at T2. But Grim is done with his first RAS, so definitely beat Foxy. So a lot more power now for Grim than Foxy. But here we should see a T3. No, it's just looks like scouts, and now ASF as well. So earlier ASF for Foxy, but much better power for Grim. And you can see how these two players are getting quite a few engineers around this factory. So for both of them, a lot of engineers coming back from reclaiming all these trees. Now you can see Foxy has reclaimed 10,000. A little bit of power problems trying to get that RAS, but nearly done, and also working on T3 power. So before he gets the second RAS, T3 power generator for Foxy. See, absolutely no power problems for Grim. He's got both resource allocations. He can get rid of those T3 power generators whenever he wants. But definitely a lot more air early on for Foxy. Foxy, yeah, so you can see 2700 power. He's going to get that T3 power generator. And now recycling mass for Grim. We should be seeing some T3 power generators coming up soon for these players, and we do see working on a single one here for Grim. You can see T1 power being destroyed. All the T1 power, there's still a little bit, but it's manually being reclaimed by Grim. See the scouts here that Foxy has made. And each one of those is 1,000, so this is enough to upgrade one of your T2 mass extractors to T3. Doesn't look like Foxy has too much excess mass to make any T3 mass extractors, so once again Grim is a bit ahead in terms of mass, but pretty much behind in terms of total plans. You can see a whole bunch of ASF already for Foxy. We don't see too much ASF, we'll see 2. This is first ASF here for Grim, which is a pretty big advantage for the stop side if there was an air fight at this stage. And of course we got to remember Foxy also helped his teammates getting back this island with the gunships. Now we see after this T3 power generator, Foxy working on a second resource allocation, as well as some power storage around this power generator. You can see each one of these power storages give a huge bonus. Of course it's dangerous. A couple T1 bombs on that and you'd lose a lot of your eco. Finally, you can see pretty big spam here for Grim. See all these ASF. Definitely a lot more here for Foxy, who was chasing down some T3 spies. And here at minute 15, both players should be close to about 10 to 15 ASF. And now you see recycling for Foxy as well. So I think I'm probably going to stop this video now. You can see now T3 power as well for Grim. We pretty much both players will make T3 power generators throughout the game now. And you can see, similar to what Foxy did, Grim bringing all of his engineers back to his T3 air factory. We're also seeing some more mask extractors going T3. Curious to see here minute 15. See a total of already 2 T3 mask extractors for Grim. Let's see if Foxy has made any. He doesn't have any, but he is working on his first one. So big advantage in terms of mass for Grim in this game, but a lot more early ASF for Foxy. So depending on what you want to do, depending on the game, there's slight nuances. And I'll stop this now. Hopefully it was useful for people.